everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger, here with your new Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, January 9th through Sunday, January 15th, 2023. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Lemma Tarot by Renata Lechner for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from one of my newer decks, and I have not ever used it for one of my weekly or monthly readings yet before. But this is the Goddess Power Divination deck by Colette Baron Reed. So that'll be exciting. All right, so just a reminder that we are now, can you believe we're almost halfway done with the month of January already? If you haven't already gone on to my channel to watch the monthly Empowered Moments video for January 2023, complete with a little bit of a blip about the universal energy of 2023 as a whole, and then a little bit about January itself, along with messages from our angels and guides, the astrological transits of significance, a special message card depending on your stone of choice for that. So be sure to check that out. So before we look at our stones, I'm going to call them items of choice because it's a little different today. Before we look at those items of choice for that special message card, let's go ahead and do an empowered moment. One of the greatest things we have going on this week is that Mars, the warrior, is turning back to direct motion. So let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath, relax your body, clear your mind of all thoughts. Just focus on the present moment, the here and now. Visualizing gold and white light all around you. This is the golden white light of unconditional love, compassion, peace, protection, guidance, healing. Let's take in a deep breath and breathe in that golden white light into every cell of our bodies. As you exhale, letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. And focusing on the idea, the intention that Mars, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, called the warrior planet in astrology, is turning back to direct motion this week at 8 degrees of Gemini. And because Mars rules forward momentum and courage and confidence and energy and action, it's been kind of slowed down here the last few weeks, as you may have felt. Maybe your physical energy has been affected. Maybe your motivation has been affected. Maybe you just don't feel or see the unfoldings of situations and events in the way that you would like. Or conversely, depending on where it's landing in your chart, maybe you're having an inrush of energies and situations and circumstances and a lot of things going on, and nervous energy and anxiety. Maybe it's all of the above. But as Mars slows down here this week to turn back to direct motion, and once it does shift, it's going to let loose a bunch of energy, positive energy, forward-moving energy, thoughts, ideas, perceptions, as that planet, Mars, is in Gemini. Gemini, that is about communication and thoughts and ideas and perceptions and learning and teaching, information, messages. So we ask and we intend that these messages are of a positive nature. We ask that the information we receive is helpful and guiding. We ask that the forward rush of energy that Mars will give us pushes us in the right direction towards our goals, our dreams, our ambitions. That Mars, as it shifts energy, will initiate an abundance of prosperous, forward-moving, beneficial energy so that we may move towards the next step on our highest and most important destiny path. And let's take a deep breath, breathing in that intention, exhaling and blowing that out to the universe. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to this time and this place and get ready to look at our items of choice. And I decided to do something a little bit different. The first item of choice actually is considered a stone or crystal of some sort. This is called pink halite, and I don't know if the lighting in here does it justice, but you can see the bottom part of it is a slightly pinkish color, pink halite. This is a type of salt, actually. The salt that kind of forms into a rock, so to speak. And this halite is great for purification of your energy, just like we would think salt is, right? Oftentimes we will use salt as a ceremonial tool for purification and protection. So that's what this does, purification of your energy and emotions. It helps to cleanse, purify, and release issues that are trapped in the heart chakra because of the pink of this particular halite stone. Now, halite does come in different colors, but the pink halite is going to relate to that heart chakra, and again, that emotional energy that may be trapped, that needs to be cleansed, purified, and released. The second item of choice is a seashell. This one is kind of a beautiful cream color, and then it's got, again, this kind of pink fan color down at the bottom. And seashell is a bridge between the physical and supernatural realms. It helps to stimulate our intuition and our imagination and adaptability. It helps with mental clarity as well. And then our last item of choice is Palo Santo. This is a stick of my Palo Santo here. And Palo Santo is good for spiritual purification and energy cleansing, right? We usually take, just like white sage, a little different though. We light the Palo Santo, and it gives off kind of a smoke, and it helps with, again, this spiritual purification and energy cleansing. It also helps us with a deeper connection to source or universe, the cosmos, all that is. It helps to inspire creativity, and it connects us, opens up, balances our root chakra for courage and grounding. So again, your items of choice are the pink halite. Let's put that aside here. The beige and pink seashell, and the magical Palo Santos. Palo Santo, no S on the end. All right, so let's take a look at the astrological energies of this week. We start out on Monday, January 9th, with Venus, the planet that rules love and relationships, personal resources like money and finances, but other personal resources like our time as well, support. And it rules our values, and she rules the divine feminine archetype, and she rules our sense of self-worth. That's a lot, right? So Venus is in Aquarius now, recently has gone into this intellectual, objective, mind sign, mental sign of Aquarius. But it's in a positive connection on Monday to Mars, that warrior planet, the planet of energy and action that's slowing down and getting ready to turn back to direct motion a little bit later this week. And Mars is in Gemini right now. Now, Venus and Mars are the lovers, so this can be about relationship matters, and that trine aspect that connects them is a very positive aspect. Venus is an air sign, Aquarius. Mars is an air sign, Gemini. Air signs are all about communication and messages, speaking, teaching, writing. And so if we're talking about relationship matters, there's should be positive communication, the ability to be maybe a little bit more logical and objective, but very positive communications. And that can be in any kind of relationship as well. It's really good actually for business and networking and connecting with others of like mind and having, a communicative interaction of some sort, or working on a project together. Now, as far as money and finances, again, this can be a positive thing. Now, Mars is slowing down, and it's kind of stationed at 8 degrees of Gemini while Venus is in trine to it. So we could hear some positive news about something to do with money and finances, but it may not kick in until Mars turns back to direct motion later this week. So that's also a possibility. We may feel pretty good as far as our sense of self-worth because of that positive aspect between the two as well. We're thinking good thoughts, we're perceiving good things, and we're communicating with more joy, I'd say, in our lives. Now, on Wednesday the 11th, 2 days later, we have a little bit of a challenging aspect. It's Mercury, the planet that rules the mental realm, our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, and communication, which is currently still in Capricorn, practical, grounded, goal-oriented Capricorn. And it's in a challenging square aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. So this can bring up old wounds on a mental level. In other words, our thoughts may be a little challenged. Our perceptions about ourselves, our career, our life path, our goals might be a little challenged. We might be lacking in courage and confidence. We might have some self-esteem issues or going through an identity crisis of sorts. Communications with others could possibly be challenged also on and around this day. But realize that Chiron is also the shaman and the healer. So it's an opportunity to bring some healing in regards to all of those aspects, but we're going to have a little bit of a push in order to do so. That might be a little challenging or difficult. On Thursday the 12th, this is the highlight of the week. Thursday the 12th is when Mars turns back to direct motion at 8 degrees of Gemini. So again, a few days before, a couple of days after, it's at this standstill and it's not moving, which can cause, again, a lack of feeling motivated in life, a lack of physical energy, a lack of things unfolding and moving forward. Or again, I don't know why I want to say this, but depending on your chart, because Mars is in vacillating, mutable, changeable Gemini, you might almost have maybe too much going on depending on if it's connecting to something in your chart that kind of pushes it that way. But for the most part, it's probably the former. So don't be surprised if there's just a little bit of a stall, a little bit of a standstill. You have to have a little bit of patience. Once it turns back to direct motion, once it starts to pick up speed, and it might take a couple of weeks, then things can start unfolding and moving forward. Okay, and then on Saturday, the 14th, we have Venus in Aquarius, and now she's challenging Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the great awakener. Uranus is known for strange, unusual, weird, unusual, unexpected, radical changes, redirection, aha moments, epiphanies, kind of that open crown chakra to bringing forth or downloading information, channeling information. But Venus, unlike its earlier connection with Mars, which was positive on Monday, on Saturday, she's challenging Uranus. I'm going to say the divine feminine with Venus there, and she is in a sign that rules independence and individuality, Aquarius. Aquarius is very individualistic. So she might really want some freedom here towards the weekend. She wants to be liberated. She wants to break free. She wants to change. And so I wouldn't be surprised that within relationships or just circumstances in general, she wants to go have an adventure, so to speak. She wants to just have some alone time, some independence. Even if she wants to be social and be with others, she wants to be her own individual. She wants to make her own decisions. Now, Uranus could bring an unexpected relationship matter. It could bring somebody new into your life, something unexpected and out of the blue, or it could bring, again, within a situation that you're already in, kind of a very sudden and quick redirection of some sort. I'm not going to say an ending, but it could be some sort of redirection of energy within that relationship. Money and finances, maybe the same thing. There could be some unexpected, unusual kind of circumstance or information regarding money and finances that comes into play. So you'll have to watch that one. I don't know, that could be, even though it's a challenging square aspect, it could bring something positive, but it may also just bring something that you just weren't expecting. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides from the Lemma Tarot. So the first card came out. This is a really nice card, actually. It's the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands, you got the four, which is steady and grounded and secure. You got the wand suit, which is spiritual energy, creative energy, happy, joyous, passionate, let's move forward sort of energy. But again, it's grounded, it's stable. It can be about commitment on some level. This can be committing in a relationship, which is Venus trining Mars on Monday, right? So we could commit in a relationship or just feel really stable and secure in our relationship. This could be about a commitment within a business matter, that something's it's starting to manifest, it's starting to take shape or form in some way as far as business or career or a project that you're working on. So the four, the four can also be a restrictive energy, but when you look at the card, to me, all of the Four of Wands cards that I've ever seen, it always looks very positive. So I'm going to say that any limitation or restriction is not that, but it's just directive and grounding and secure. We've got a circle of stones down here at the bottom. We've got the Four Wands around it. We've got, the spiritual energy. We do have two kind of white birds here. I don't know if it's two doves. So it's interesting that there's not four birds there that I can see. Two doves, again, could indicate some positive relationship matter, hope, faith, blessings, miracles, magic of some sort. And, this is often, there's like a little kind of a wreath of garland that are securing these four wands together. Again, kind of bringing something into form and giving something a sense of a grounded or committed sort of energy. Now, this card often is known as the marriage card or the committed partnership card. So again, there might be something very positive happening in whether it's romantic relationship, but it could also be commitment in a business relationship as well. So don't put that by the wayside, because this could be something very positive going on with your business and career as well. All right. Okay, the next card came out as two cards. Let's take a look at the first of those two cards. Okay, we've got the Seven of Wands here. You can see the young woman here with the looks like she's got this reddish hair. This is a very kind of Celtic-ish feeling sort of deck. The Seven of Wands, the number 7 in numerology, is going within and silence and contemplation and self-reflection, and it's usually an inactive number. Now, she doesn't look very active either. We've got 6 wands here, it should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 6 wands that are perpendicular here. She's holding the 7th wand. This is typically about needing to defend yourself in some way. Now, we do have Mercury challenging Chiron on Wednesday in the middle of the week, which can bring a challenge that we might have to defend against. Maybe words are spoken, communications come in, and we feel like we have to defend ourselves. On Thursday, again, we have Mars turning direct, so his energies are kind of being magnified right now because he's at a standstill. So again, we might feel like we need to defend ourselves against something. I want to say it's more against our own thoughts or perceptions, or it can be about, again, communication matters in some way. So take a moment, have a little bit of patience. Don't lash out. Don't even react or respond right away, because that number 7 says to take a beat, take a breath, Just kind of hang out, be a little patient here, go within, contemplate, what is this really all about? What's the spiritual perspective of what's going on within this situation? Yes, we have to defend ourselves, but we can just take a moment before it is that we speak or act or initiate or respond to something, and take a look at the deeper meaning and the deeper picture of whatever this is all about. Now let's see what card came out with this card. Ooh, I like this. This is the Queen of Wands, and she's got the same red hair. So isn't it interesting? The Seven of Wands, we feel like we need to defend, or we're needing to, again, stop what we're doing and just have a little patience, reflect a little bit, go within, connect with our inner wisdom and knowledge, our inner guide. But once we do that, in the same breath, so to speak, we're moving into the Queen of Wands, where we're confident and courageous and independent and leadership oriented and action oriented, and we're going to take charge. And that, I think, is Mars turning back to direct motion, right? It's like Mercury squares Chiron Wednesday, and we're not sure what's going on, and you know, again, maybe feeling like we have to defend against some sort of communication from somebody. But once Mars turns direct, we're ready to go. We're ready to initiate that conversation or take that action or respond to whatever that was. And again, it might not be with another person or people. This could be within yourself. This could be something that's going on within you, but you just come into, again, this newfound sense of confidence and courage and energy and being able to, be motivated to move forward. And the Queen of Wands, she's all about doing it herself, right? I mean, it doesn't mean she can't ask for help, but she knows what to do and she's going to take charge and do it. It's interesting that she's holding a sunflower there in her hand. In her hand, she's got a sunflower. The sunflower relates to that solar plexus chakra, our center of personal power. And boy, oh boy, she's in her power. And that center of personal power, the solar plexus chakra, does deal with confidence and courage. So it reminds me of the sunflower flower essence. If you're feeling like you're lacking in confidence and courage right now, you want that Queen of Wands kind of feeling, look online and get some sunflower flower essence, because that's going to help that solar plexus chakra. She's holding a staff, again, in the other hand. So again, she's ready to take charge. She's ready to move forward. This could be on your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. This could be about taking charge of life, or something financially, or something in a relationship situation. So whatever it is, we've got the sky kind of clearing, because kind of right here behind her, it's a little bit dark, right? But ahead of her, she's got the sunlight starting to shine through, starting to light the way of where she needs to go. And then the last card here, okay, so we end with the Five of Swords. That might be Venus in Aquarius, which is a mental sign, and the sword suit is the mental realm in the tarot, squaring Uranus. Remember, Venus is squaring Uranus on Saturday. So that could definitely be the Five of Swords here. Now, this particular Five of Swords card, the man is holding, actually looks like he's got two swords in one hand, one sword in the other, and then there's two swords over here. So, and he's not in a fighting position. A lot of times you see the Five of Swords and there's like people battling with one another with the swords. There's no other people in this card that I can see. He's standing there by himself. So I want to say you're battling something within yourself. You're dealing with some perception, belief system, thought process that maybe is a little challenged right now. And so now, again, it could be with other people, but this looks like we have to take responsibility for our own mindset here and what's going on within. We seem to have the advantage to make things right, to either balance things within ourselves or balance things with other people through communication, because we have three swords, right? This person has three swords as opposed to the two over here. So he's got the advantage. He's got more of the swords in his hands than there is over here on the ground. the two swords here on the ground are crossing one another. Sometimes that can also be about decisions, like the Two of Swords. You often see in the Two of Swords that they're holding two swords and they're crossed one another like that. So there could be like some sort of decision that has to be made, some sort of compromise that maybe has to be made in some way. But I feel like, you know, everything's going to work out just fine. He looks very calm. He looks very objective. He doesn't look like he's giving into like the nervous energy or anxiety energy or crazy situations that might be going on around him, especially with Mars being in mutable, changeable, ungrounded Gemini right now and turning back to direct motion. He's got kind of a handle on it. So if we can work through whatever that Venus squaring Uranus was, whatever that surprise is, whatever that unexpected circumstance might be, then I think you're going to just be fine here through the rest of the week. All right. Let's take a look at the special message card from the Goddess Power Oracle deck. Okay. So those of you that chose the halite people, special message for halite. This one here in the middle is calling my attention. These are a new deck, so they're sticking together pretty good here. All right. Ooh, Ceridwen, and it says potential at the bottom. So this week is full of potential for you. Again, with Mars turning back to direct motion, the potential of being able to initiate, being able to move forward, being able to take charge, being able to be victorious, right? If you hold the sword, you know, I think of the Six of Wands, where the knight is riding the horse and he's got his sword in his hand and he's coming back victorious. The potential is great for all good things for you this week. I don't know a lot about Ceridwen. I know that a lot of you out there probably do, and you'll tell me in the comments. But this is something that you might also want to do a little bit more research on, whatever the goddesses are that are going to come up here. So a lot of them I don't know. You'd think I would, because I'm part Irish and I'm very much into the Celtic. So I need to study my Celtic goddesses. And Ceridwen is one of those Celtic goddesses here. She's got her third eye highlighted right here with kind of a gem or a jewel. She's got kind of this garland of some sort over her crown. So I want to say there's potential to use your psychic perceptions, your visualization techniques. There's potential for downloads of information, aha moments, epiphanies. There's a potential to take your imagination, see what it is that you desire, and the potential is there to start to bring things into manifestation with patience and some time. Okay? Let's put that back in the deck and see what the special message is for the seashell people. Seashell people. Special message for the seashell. Okay, this one's calling my attention right in here. And this one's Parvate. Let me see, am I saying that right? Parvate. I have a client that's of Indian descent, and so, you know, there's been a time or two that I've gotten on Zoom with her, and I'm like, oh yeah, how did I used to say that? I don't remember, but she definitely told me the proper pronunciation. I was definitely saying it wrong. Parvate, I believe, is how she says this. So this says devotion. This goddess is about devotion. Are you devoted to a cause? Are you devoted to your goals? Are you devoted to a project? Are you devoted to yourself and your evolution and growth as a spiritual soul? Whatever this is about devotion here. And you can see her hands are in a prayer form. So I think I said in the monthly January video that this is a month to continue to send out your intentions for the new year all month. And the reason I said that is that we oftentimes set our intentions at the very beginning of January, right? The first of the new year. But because Mercury is retrograde, and because up until this week on the 12th, Mars is retrograde. So we've got these retrograde planets that are kind of slowing things down a little bit. So I told people to continue to do ceremony, continue to do prayer, continue to set your intentions, continue to talk to your angels and guides about, what it is that you desire. Write it down on a piece of paper. So this is one of those things where you want to continue to set your intentions. Be devoted to whatever your project or plan or strategy is. Be devoted to your dreams, okay? And this is saying that, again, with that sense of devotion to whatever it is, to yourself, to career, life path, to a relationship, to changing things within a relationship that might need healing, that with that devotion, then those positive changes will come about eventually. Okay. All right. And then for those of you that chose the Palo Santo, special message for Palo Santo people. Palo Santo. This one's calling my attention. Okay, let's pull that out here. Oh no, really? Ceridwen, again, out of this whole great big thick deck of cards. Okay. So Ceridwen is very important this week, okay? We need to really know a little bit more about Ceridwen, but everything that I said for the Halite people also applies to the Palo Santo people. So look at the potential. Pay attention to the crown chakra activation and balancing of the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. And I'll even add for Halite and for Palo Santo, all that gold and yellow and the idea of the word potential really rings to me of the solar plexus chakra. So again, the center of your personal power, where confidence and courage and, to me, potential kind of lies. So all of these things are things that you also need to connect to and to focus on in this week. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Your comments, messages, love, and support, I really appreciate it. Sending you all lots of love and light. Until we meet again next week, everyone. Namaste.